Hey y'all, I'm Allison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my
Rossy.
favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and
Rossy.
Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast.
And Rossy.
Alrighty. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 181 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast. We've got a really good show lined up for you tonight. A little bit of fun. We're doing another mystery song deep dive. We got a little bit of news, but of course, welcoming in my two legendary co-hosts. We've got Rossy from Sydney, or the capital city, as we will now know it as. And we've got looks good in pink, Braggy in down there in Adelaide. How are you, boys? How was your week?
Excellent. Got my Red Legs membership in the post.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
You saw that?
Very happy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
excited about that. We don't kick off till the 29th. That's our first game. It's going to be an interesting year. Our new coach, I just found out, used to play for Sturt.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure how well that's going to go,
Can't
but
trust
we'll
him.
see.
Can't trust him.
Yeah,
I
okay.
I know who's going to be first to blame if we lose.
That's Dave Graney's team, isn't it? So
That's Dave Graney's team, yeah.
Hey,
Don't like
a very quick update on the show last week. Sean Fraser tuned in, and there's 5 chords, Braggy. So
What are they?
Well, I didn't ask. but
Gee,
he
bewildered.
he did say that you guys did a great job and you got much of it right. So
Must have been a Z demolished in there or something.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, see, argumentative.
Be positive.
That's it.
that was it. All right.
I did hear a few hot licks on the G string too.
That's nice. Don't want to break your G string. That's the worst thing can happen.
All right, Braggy. Update on the footy tipping.
Well, we figured out one thing we learned during the week is that Curly's shit at footy tipping. That was tricky. It's tricky early on. You got to get your bearings. Rossy's come through strong. He bloody picked Richmond to beat Carlton. They came back from nowhere. Everyone picked Hawthorn. Geelong looked awesome. He went for the Swannies though. He went with his heart instead of his head. Lions, good there. I'm glad. I don't like Collingwood, but I'm glad Port got flogged. Crows look really good.
Yeah.
Melbourne lost. Melbourne led nearly all the way and lost in the last fucking minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, and in the rugby league, what was the upset there? Roosters got up against the Panthers. Go!
I walked into work on Friday and said, just to let everyone know, I'm on a perfect round. after getting the one right on Thursday, and then I don't think I got another one right until Sunday. So,
well, I was glad the Roosters won, and Cowboys got flogged again. Don't know what's going wrong there.
yeah,
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Broncos got touched up.
Everyone,
I enjoyed that.
Anyway,
the Broncos getting bought.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet you did. Anyway, in the end, what it turns out is after round 2, the scores are Curly on 11, Braggy on 16, and Rossy goes to the front on 17.
Yeah.
It's transitory.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's early days, but I'm giving you a huge lead to chase down. So, hey, we'll see how we go. Hey, a little bit of news caught my eye before we get into our mystery song. Our mystery song tonight has been proposed by the wonderful Brenda Kelly from Waiting for Brenda. She she slid into my DMs and she let me know, hey, Curly, if you're looking for a mystery song, do this one. So, but first up, the news. The first bit is news from the capital. And I'm interested to hear Rossy's thoughts about this, but Sydney's 1041 2-day FM has undergone its biggest overhaul in years, today launching a new sound and promise, the hits before they hit. in what their Southern Cross, whatever their ownership is the biggest format change the city has heard in well over 2 decades. 2-Day FM is guaranteeing to play more new music than any other commercial radio station in Sydney, alongside a commitment to support and showcase more Australian artists.
Awesome.
About
Rossy.
time. About time. Absolutely about time. See, 2-Day FM was like the 2CH of was like a very the easy listening FM station originally. It's changed formats a few times, but that's a very welcome thing, I think. Of course, it remains to be seen what we get, but hey, I'll lean into it. I'm prepared to support it and give it a crack. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, and
Triple
J's
let us down. Triple J has let us down.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing, isn't it? We could all be sitting here cynical and say, yeah, right, that's going to happen. But I think if you support it, they're going to see that in their ratings and whatnot. So I think you've got to give it a crack, Yeah. Because as we know, there's some outstanding young artists floating around.
There are.
Well, you know what? You know what? I said a little thing in our little chat we have. Amyl and the Sniffers, cover of the Rolling Stone, with the lines, Aussie punk band taking over the world. I feel that those guys can lead a revolution in Australian independent music. They're that good, mate. America's just going to take them to heart. It seems like they already half have.
Yeah.
So I know it's the Australian version of Rolling Stone. It's not the American one, but still. And so fucking look out. Pocket Watch, get ready to ride that wave. Hope they got their surfboards ready because it's coming.
So do I. They're up for it. They're up for it.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing also, Rossy and Braggy, is that in the world of streaming, you can pretty much listen to any radio station wherever you are. So wherever you're listening to this, and if you can get a stream for 2-Day FM in Sydney,
jump on it.
Tune in. Yeah. Let's see where it goes. And, if it succeeds, hopefully other stations start to folloay the lead, and maybe Triple J jump into that. Yeah, it does.
It needs support, so we should tune in.
I did hear late last week, Pocket Watch got a run on 4ZZZ actually.
Oh, truly?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a youth. They've got a youth arm up there, and they're playing young bands, and they played Pocket Watch, which I thought was good.
Yeah, that is excellent. Good news. The other thing, Dua Lipa. Is that it? Dua Lipa.
Yep.
She started her Australian tour just yesterday or the day before, and she has covered. One of the things that she set out to do is to do a cover of a iconic band or a song from where she's playing.
Where she's touring, yeah. Most artists do that, yeah.
And once again, I just think this is pretty cool. And she covered Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so let's see what it sounds like, shall we?
Yeah.
How is that?
Keyboard player can take a break during that one.
but But and just before we go on, was the sound all right, guys?
Yeah,
it was good.
Okay, good. All right, so
I don't know. I felt like I was watching The Voice.
yeah, it's a bit like that. I always think of those ones though, Rossy, that I think like the guitarist in the band, he's playing all these gigs with Dua Lipa doing all those poppy songs. He must think, fuck, I'm looking forward to playing fucking AC/DC.
Yeah, the drummer didn't have Phil Rudd's groove though, did he?
Didn't have his swing. That's
No,
the
didn't
thing,
have the
it's got
swing.
I mean, not literally swing, but it's got that.
Look, I liked it when
roll.
Springsteen came out and played the Saints, just like Firewood and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing to do. It's a respectful thing to do.
Someone else came out and did horses and got down. Who was that? One of the other guys came out and sang horses. Got
probably Ed Sheeran, was it? I don't know.
Probably someone.
Probably
like that.
every Australian male ever born. So,
Yeah,
the other thing I just want to share, this is a quick little clip. And we mentioned Pocket Watch, but they may just have some competition from this little band called, I think, the Wops. I'm not sure what that does, what that means, but they've I discovered them today on TikTok or Instagram or one of them, and they're like a band of young fellas, and they're playing some pretty cool old punk covers. So this is them playing In the City by The Jam. So I've got to love that. I've just got to love that. There's lots of videos of them out busking and they're playing punk with 2 acoustic guitars and music
that jam
might be
thing.
Good.
That jam thing's on the way back. Like there's a band that Angus is talking to in Camden in London who've just come back from South by Southwest. Have a look at called the Molotovs. They're a brother and sister. I think the brother's about 17. The sister might be 19.
Yeah,
and they're the ones on the up, I reckon. They're supporting the Sex Pistols in England.
Okay,
the Molotovs.
Molotovs.
Yeah,
I'm writing that down.
They're very much like the Jam, I tell you. We love them.
Yeah. So it's good to see a little bit of UK heritage there, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I was saying to you earlier, I listened to his podcast, and Ked Scott was on it, who produced the early Bowie albums. And every episode I listen to, eventually it gets back to, so then I met Bowie. It's the center of England's universe,
All right, so let's get on with what we're all here for tonight. We're doing a mystery song deep dive. If this is the first time you've joined us on a mystery song deep dive, these guys do not know what the song is. And as I mentioned earlier, Brenda Kelly, got to put the masculine version on your name there, Brenda. Brenda Kelly from Waiting for Brenda. She was on our show on episode 176, and she's proposed this song. So let's see how the boys go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I know what it is.
All
right, who we got?
Or will you want me to? Will I say the song and you say the band, or the other way around?
Yeah, you say the band. You say the song. I'll say the band.
Dirty Old Town.
Pogues.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a bit of a classic, isn't it?
It is.
Oh man, That's one to sing when you're pissed in the bar, that's for sure.
And the interesting thing, right, is when I started looking this song up, and I was incredibly surprised how many cover versions there are of this particular song. But it wasn't actually written by anyone in the Pogues. Did you know
it's a traditional song, isn't it?
It was written in 1949 by Ewan McCall, a British folk singer, and a British folk singer, and later became an Irish folk staple.
There you go.
But he's a northern boy, so northern boys and Irish got a lot more in common than those filthy Londoners.
They still, exactly.
They both hate London just as much.
They're still like that for fucking London.
So tell us about the Pogues. What's their little place in the world? What are they?
I'm not an expert on the Pogues, but
I'm not either.
But very passionate Irish guys. They're also famous for that song Christmas. What's that one Christmas one, Rossy?
No, it's Nightmare in New York or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Isn't it? Christmas in New York.
Christmas
Fairy Tale.
Fairy Tale.
Yeah. I remember. Irish people are going to be fucking smashing their computers.
Mortified.
Yeah.
So what's the instrumentation that you're hearing there?
What's
acoustic violin? It's a song Dylan didn't write, but he should have.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to think about it.
Play some more, Curly, and we'll tune into the instrumentation.
Just bear with me for a sec. I've just got to set up
What I'm guessing is it's going to be acoustic guitar, a fiddle, piano, accordion. I reckon it's going to come in somewhere.
Is there a harmonica in there somewhere?
Oh yeah.
Is it? I reckon it'd be the piano accordion. Maybe not.
Okay. Well, let's bring it back on screen and let's go.
I'm like my love.
Banjo in there.
Dream the dream by the old canal. I kiss my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Spring's a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town.
There it is.
Yeah.
See, it's got the bagpipe. It's got those Irish versions of the bagpipes.
Yeah.
Now, I think the bagpipes were I think back in history, originally they were invented somewhere in the Middle East, but
Truly.
Yeah, I think so. But the story goes that the Irish invented the bagpipes and gave it to the Scottish, and the Scottish haven't got the joke yet. But that's another weird bagpipey thing that guy's playing. I think there's definitely a thing.
It's really all the traditional, but in the deep dark recesses of my mind, I'm led to believe that this was produced by Elvis Costello.
Oh, true. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Oh,
yeah, and like he kind of leaned. He's had a period where he leaned into that folky sort of rootsy sort of stuff. Like America has Americana roots. This is that Irish.
It's English folk. It's that Billy Bragg
Yeah,
working class.
working class. Well, Mike McCall was from Salford, which is the home of Adrian Morley. Just saying.
Okay.
Oh, the Brewster.
Yeah, big
But I mean-
northern tough.
It's really that, like Curly, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're actually there. Everybody's there playing.
yeah.
The instruments just aren't like you go to an Irish pub in Australia and the instruments are up on the thing. No one's fucking playing them unless it's the third Thursday of the month when the Irish band comes in. But they're all sitting around jamming and playing. I just love it.
Yeah, it's I still does my head in, Braggy, that I walked into where we were staying. I walk into the downstairs bar and there's a band playing Dirty Old Town. So it's like you couldn't get more stereotypical than walking into an Irish bar and hearing Dirty Old Town. It was just amazing. So Shane McGowan's vocals in that, boys. What can we take from that? Does that make the song, or is it the instrumentation?
I think it's the words. Everyone probably relates. Anyone who's working class would relate to the words. There's lots of places where people are stuck in, just their home, especially in those places where everyone gets together at the pub. It's kind of like their home away from home. That's their family most of the time. They go there.
but it's got a bit of tough heart. It's got tough heartbreak in it too. Sort of, tough. Yeah, like it's a different kind of love song in a funny sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like compared to say how, your classic love song, the Tales of the North and the Tales of Ireland is littered with, it's it evokes it evokes that whole area, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's so many. Every genre's got that. AC/DC got Long Way to the Top.
Yeah.
About that same struggle, pub to pub, whatever it is, and
it's really quite a sad, melancholy sort of a tune, but it's one that brings you and captivates you and brings you into it. I mean, I don't think when I first heard it with the Pogues, I seriously was one of those people that thought this was an original Pogue song, and as I found out today, that was shattering.
Yeah, I didn't know it was written by an Englishman. I thought it would have been written like a traditional Irish from back in the day. Wow.
But it brings you in. At no stage did I think when I first heard it, however many years ago, is that, oh, shit, this is a bit boring, because it's like the instrumentation. There's a lot of instruments, but it's quite sparse in the way it sounds and the way it comes across and the way they play it.
But all those sort of orchestras have a place for each instrument, and it pokes out when required.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you talk about an audio spectrum, right? You talk about an audio spectrum, and it starts with the kick drum down the bottom and the bass guitar, just a little bit of you scoop out some of that, and you scoop out some of the bass and the bass guitar, so it sits there, and conversely, the kick drum, you scoop a bit of the bottom end out of that at the pop where the bass is, and so each thing can pop out. So you're looking, and with those classical groups, with those traditional instruments, each instrument has its place in the spectrum. That's how you can hear it poke out when it's time to feature that. It just sits where it's supposed to sit, and that's why naturally you get certain instruments playing with certain instruments.
Yeah. So you get the bass down below, the guitar's sort of sitting in the middle, the mandolin comes in, it's a little bit higher with that bagpipey thing, and then the tin whistle is right there at the top.
And where the vocal sits needs to have a space for itself, right?
Yes.
Like, I was listening to someone talking about recording Supertramp, and they had 18 guitar lines. It's like there's no space for 18 guitar lines,
No.
But you need to have space for each instrument to poke out when required. And that's all part of and I don't think it's by accident. I think it's by design. Like that's why that group of instruments play together, because the banjo plunks out just here and there,
And then you've got the whatever the little thin thing that was in the mouth, the
tin whistle.
Yeah. And that's an interesting, what you were just saying, Rossy, is really interesting, because why have the instrument if you can't hear it, or if it doesn't poke out, So bands that just try and and I don't know, try and smother, what's going on in the song, probably doing themselves a disservice, because
think
you
that's
do
right.
want, absolutely.
I hear records and I just go, why? Why is that like that? But I listen to other records and just go, I can hear everything. This is just genius. And that is the skill of the producer, engineer, and the songwriter, and
guys
the
doing the
people
mix.
playing. All of that stuff. Like balance engineers, as they used to be called in the old days.
Oh, so it's a skill set, what you're saying.
Yeah, very
I
much.
heard a siren from the docks. Saw a train set the night on fire. I smelled the spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm gonna make me a picture back, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town.
Well, there we go.
Like talk about if you're going to write a song for the working class, and your first line is "I met my love by the gasworks wall."
Yeah.
That's a great first line.
I kissed my girl against the factory wall.
Yeah, I'll tell you where he didn't meet her. I'll tell you where he definitely didn't meet her. That was at the
dentist.
But once again, it finishes where it starts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sings the first thing back. Yeah,
Gotta say, he looks as though he's lived a very tough life.
Yeah,
and that's early on in the career.
Yeah.
That clip.
The looks captured the spirit of the song, but
I think so too, very much.
Yeah.
The Pogues would not have been the band they were without Shane McGowan at the front. I
No.
think.
Yeah.
Great songwriter. Great vocalist, really.
Yeah. Well, and that interesting to see all those traditional instruments, and then down the back they've got a dirty old P bass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So before we do a bit of a summary, the song has been covered a couple of times.
Okay.
And I am going to play a quick little snippet of what I would consider one of my favorite cover versions of that particular song. So, let's go back here.
My love by the gasworks wall. I dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. A dirty old town, a dirty old town. I heard a siren from the dock. Saw a train set the night on fire. Smelled the spring through a smoky wind. A dirty old town, a dirty old town.
All right. And of course, that was the wonderful Australian band
Dockers.
Dockers.
Were they bodgies on the cover of that?
Yeah. Those
I don't know
Sharpie chicks.
Sharpies.
girl.
Sharpies.
Yeah, that
Bodgies
was
were
Sharpies.
nice, weren't they? Sharpies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharpies. Painters and Dockers, what a band.
Oh,
Yeah. I used to love seeing them live, and when they'd throw that one in the mix. It's
Yeah.
interesting. You can only find that song on YouTube. So, of course, I'll put the link in the show notes. And you go into that particular album on Spotify, and Dirty Old Town's not on there. So, Very
the
weird.
Things That Matter, is that sort of aimed at a South Australian judge or Alexander Downer? I think it might be. Because that Things That Matter was, I think it was there was a campaign being run around domestic violence, and Alexander Downer, as a clown, came out and said he was at a Liberal Party fundraiser and said, "The things that batter." I've gone, you idiot. You idiot.
No.
That's Paulie Stewart would not have missed that. He's a very astute man, Paul Stewart.
Incredibly. So let's go back to the Pogues, boys. The legacy of the Pogues. How would you sort of sum that up, Rossy?
Wow. Shane McGowan's kind of iconic. He really is. And he had an affinity with here. He would come out here, and the Pogues would come out a fair bit, and he's came out on his own. And I remember bumping into him very early in the morning in Byron Bay one day, and he looked far worse than he did then, not long before he died, I think,
Yeah.
But was he out singing? Was he with Weirdos? I think he might have been, or it might have been just the Pogues. I'm not sure.
They're the epitome of folk music, though. That music is for the folks, isn't it? It's not for playing in a big stadium. That music is for playing in a pub with a whole bunch of people that
sing along with you.
Sing along with you.
Yeah.
Of a similar stature. Yeah.
It's not. It's not. It doesn't have that hierarchy of I'm the performer. You listen to me. It'd be everyone like Dirty Old Town.
Yeah. It's definitely not like Dua Lipa.
No. Actually, more so, people would be swaying in their chairs, singing it quietly to themselves as well.
Well, it does make you straight away. It makes you go like that, doesn't it? Like you go, put your arms around. Hey, let's go.
But then, when you jump to the Dockers version, the song still has that same rollicking feeling, right?
Yeah.
And it's the song, the strength of the song. A good song is a good song,
It's proud to the people.
Rod Stewart covered Dirty Old Town. It's like, once again, I did not know that until I
Scotsman.
Yeah.
Scotsman.
So unbelievable. It's in so many ways, the Pogues brought Irish folk to so many people who did not even know it existed, right? So,
I would. Yeah, I think so.
We had bands like Weddings, Parties, Anything here that were bringing it a form of folk, and Aussie folk, I guess, which was, I suppose, in some ways brought up from Irish and the UK sort of pokes out. Oh, we've lost Braggy. So, but I think the Pogues in so many ways brought folk music to the world and to so many people who did not know it existed.
And like even to this day, there's Irish folk, and there's that there's all those Irish folk pop bands. Like I could see the cross between the Dockers version and their version being done by a band like the Rumjacks, right?
Yeah,
the Rumjacks, or who's that band from Boston? The
Dropkick
Murphys, that sort of stuff, Yeah, and it wouldn't have got there without the Pogues.
No, that's right. They kind of brought the Irish. Oh, there was those other two guys. What were those two guys that used to come out and tour everywhere? It was just a duo.
Oh yeah, is it Steps something or other? Mumford and Sons?
No, not Mumford and Sons, but they're another product of the Pogues style.
Yeah. We learned something. We learned something about Mumford and Sons.
Yeah,
because is that it doesn't matter what song you play of theirs, you can sing any note and it sounds like one of their harmonies.
Yeah. I mean,
we've done experiments. We've done lengthy experiments singing along to Mumford and Sons songs, and you just go, yep, that's in.
Foster and Allen was who I was thinking of.
Foster
and Allen. Yeah. But you know what? You're right. It's produced a lot of those bands, but sometimes I just get, as soon as there's too many of those bands, and a lot of them aren't even from Ireland, they're from somewhere else, and they come out and they've got, as soon as I see they got a big drum on stage that they're going to hit, I think, oh no, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Go for this. You know what I mean? There's too many of them.
Yeah.
And Ireland's got a fine tradition. Yeah, there's U2, there's the Cause. The Cause, they're not a bad band.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Van Morrison. Stick that one up, yeah.
Yeah, he goes all right. He's got a bit of a future, that bloke, I reckon.
Yeah, Irish, they can all sing, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just I suppose my final comment, because I get the opportunity to actually do a little bit of research, whereas these boys don't. So, you know, the lyrics just paint the picture, don't they? It is just painting the picture.
Oh yeah,
and even, you know, that first line, "I met my love by the gasworks wall." You can picture it. You can see
I
it.
know where they are.
You can see the pub where they are. It's dirt.
Yeah.
It's cobblestones. It's
Yeah.
a bit dirty. Someone's
Down at the
fucking
hill.
skewed around the corner.
It's an industrial town.
Yeah.
It's grey. It's dark.
Yeah.
It's and I think that's one of the real beauties of the song. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
Totally agree, Curly.
Ewan McCall or Evan McCall was the singer, the original songwriter. So he's certainly done a great song. Obviously was able to write a great song that was then absolutely perfectly captured by the Pogues.
Well, thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, other Irish like Rory Gallagher too. Even though he's the blues, he's still got that Irish dirty blues.
And let's not forget about my favourite,
Thin Lizzy,
Black Phil.
Oh,
Phil
okay.
Lynott, mate.
Phil
Lynott. As a matter of fact, I like Phil Lynott so much that I've got a Phil Lynott.
Oh,
I got a goal. Awesome.
Phil Lynott action figure. Yeah.
No, bass player, singer.
That is unreal. All right. So, boys, that's our final mystery song deep dive for a while. We've got a couple of guests coming up in the next weeks. So next week, we've got Tori Dark and Jay Santilli joining us. They've just released a new duo titled Trouble, which was produced by M Squared. A little bit about Tori and Jay. They've been friends for over 15 years. Jay's a huge advocate for women struggling with infertility and the challenges that poses mentally and physically. She suffered from endometriosis. Yeah. And at one point wasn't even sure that she could conceive children, but she thankfully has been able to. Tori has a huge passion for health and fitness, and during COVID, she threw herself into bodybuilding competition. So Jay opened in 2024 for people like Kaylee Bell, Dylan Wright, and Andrew Swift, and they're all big names in the Australian country music scene. And Tori's been touring with Lee Kernahan as a guitarist for the past 1.5 years. So,
all right,
these girls are looking forward to having them on.
Yeah, and
Tori, fascinating.
Tori was also on The Voice in 2024, teamed up with fellow country music artist Brad Butcher. So they're our guests for next week. And then the following week, we've got another Australian artist. And then potentially the week after that, we may be talking to someone from Seattle. So a young female singer from Seattle has reached out. So we just got to work through some time zone stuff. But another international, the Unfiltered Undiscovered podcast goes international. So, guys, any last words before I do a final? How did you feel about tonight? A little bit of a challenge, Braggy. For you.
Yeah, we struggled a bit tonight. I think I don't really. Yeah, I feel we're going
out of our comfort zone. Well done, Brenda.
The Irish are going to be up us. We didn't know.
They'll be fact checking us. Don't you worry.
I feel bad. We're sorry.
So if you wanted to share your thoughts around Dirty Old Town by the Pogues, please do so wherever you're listening to this and put it in the comments. We'd love to hear. I noticed we get a little bit of commentary in our mystery songs on YouTube. So let's see what it evokes, boys. I'm looking forward to it. So
nice.
All right. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe wherever you're listening to it. Please leave a review. Share it with a like-minded music friend of yours. That's your quest for this week. Share our podcast with a friend if you've liked it, or even if you've hated it, or even if you think that we're too stupid. Share it anyway and say you should listen to these guys. They're just radical and stupid. So that's your quest for next week. Until next week, where we have Tori and Jane coming on and joining us. We will see you all then. Thanks, boys, and good luck with the footy tipping for everyone else. it's my turn for a comeback. We'll see you next week.
Hey, see ya.
See ya.